Recording in progress.
Carol. Who's not here yet? Deb Campbell, Tom Clee, Lisa Anderson, right? Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Carol.
Just wondered if everybody could hear me.
Yes, we can. I got 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Waiting for some good rain.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
That must be Kathy, and there's Deb. I got 5:59. Okay.
Is that everybody?
I think so.
Is Kathy on? I can't see.
Yep. Yep. She's on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on.
I don't know who the second phone person is.
I don't recognize the number either. Are you leaving, Jerry?
No, I just want, you might ask that person who they are and we can make sure we identify it if you want.
Okay. So it's 6 o'clock and we'll call the meeting to order. And I want to go over the Zoom guidelines and just seeing that everyone's who's on this phone call, there's 2 phone numbers. I know Kathy, one of them is yours. You're listed there. I don't know if you're muted. There's a 618-0733.
Yes, this is Terry.
Hi there. We're gonna have everybody mute their phones. I'll go over the guidelines. And just doing the highlights of the Zoom guidelines, we'd ask that if you'd like to speak to be recognized, that you raise your hand either electronically, or if you're on the phone, I might not be able to, you can unmute, but when you're not speaking, I'd ask that you'd mute your microphone so that we can hear the person speaking. And that when we do roll call, the trustees would give their name and state their location. And also when we'll do all voting by roll call. And when you make the motion, please state who you are. That will help Kathy. She's not able to. Kathy, you're on by phone, right? Yeah.
Yes, I am. I have too many things to balance tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
I
working
get
off
it.
2
Yep.
phones and a laptop.
So it'll help if we state our name when we do the motion, right? In a second. Yes.
Yes.
So if you would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you do the roll? Call the roll? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Thanks.
Mrs. Burt,
Present, Flint Township.
Mrs. Fafdahl,
Present, Flint Township.
Mrs. Anderson,
Present, Flint Township.
Ms. Miller,
Present Flint Township.
Mrs. Funk, present, Flint Township. Mr. Clee,
Present, Flint Township.
Ms. Campbell,
Present, Flint Township.
everyone is accounted for.
Thank you. I'll ask if there's any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda. Hearing none, we'll move on to public comment. If you'd like to address the board, I'd ask that you'd give us your name and you'll be given 4 minutes to address the board. So at this point, I don't see anyone interested in addressing the board.
I would like to speak.
Yes, go right ahead, please. Can you give us your name, please?
Terry Hutchison.
Thank you. Go right ahead, Terry.
Okay, well, what I'm concerned about, I live over here off Miller Road. And there's a lot of businesses, as we all know, all up and down, going east or west. You're talking about CMDOT and the 1 lane that's gonna go east and 1 lane going west and a turn lane. And what I see with that, there's a lot of traffic. There's, you know, and this applies no matter which way anybody's going, they're gonna turn right as well as left. And if there's only 1 lane to turn off to the right, okay, every time somebody wants to stop and turn right into a driveway, a business driveway, there could be reasons why that they don't just turn and get out of the way, but that's going to stop a lot of traffic. It's going to stop cars, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. All these lanes, stop and go. It's going to be a nightmare if that's what they do. And personally, the way I feel about it is I don't think I'll be going shopping on Miller Road. I don't think it's going to it's going to discourage me from going down Miller Road at all, because it's going to have too much traffic, too much danger. I don't know why we're even considering it. There's plenty of lanes right now. There's, you know, it's not out of the ordinary of any number of accidents or any unusual thing, because I'm sure that's not the case. So I don't know what they're doing, if they're trying to save money and trying to have to resurface, or what the reason is, but I think it's nonsense.
So
That's all I have.
just real quick to let you know that Miller Road is a road that MDOT oversees. and therefore the maintenance of it would be contracted out to the road commission unless the whole thing's being redone. So I'm gonna have to address that complaint to the road commission and let them know that there's issues with the traffic control and see where we go from there.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Terry, if you
Thank
want to
you.
call the township and leave us your phone number with Rose, the
Mhm.
receptionist, so that I can call you back. That'd be
Okay.
great,
Yes,
unless
I
you
will.
just want me to use this phone number that's on the Zoom call.
Yeah, this is my number. Yep, you sure can. This is the number.
61807. Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? No? Then we will move on from public comment and I will go to reports. The only thing I wanted to mention tonight is I see Dominic Clemens is on the call with us. Thank you for being with us this evening. Let's see, I wanted to tell everybody that, especially the trustees, but also it's been reported to us by MTerra that curbside recycling will resume June 10th. So if I hear any, this Thursday, if I hear any updates to that, I'll let you know, but nothing's changed that I know of. And so curbside recycling should resume along with the regular trash pickup and yard waste starting this Thursday, June 10th. So that's all I wanted to report. Madam Clerk, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, I do. Just a couple of items. One, I'm still getting numerous calls every day about us opening our meetings back up to the public. And especially with, I believe it's July 2nd, is back to normal. So we have a lot of residents out there who would like to see us open our meetings back up. They're not comfortable with Zoom. And then I also had informed the board that the Genesee County Director of Elections had asked each municipality to provide the bottom line number of how much the May election cost because it was an off-cycle election. And there are certain things that are exempt, like things that if we purchase something that can be used in another election, there's some overtime that is exempt off of that, but it was treated as if we were turning a reimbursement into schools for if there was a school election. So the bottom line that I turned in on behalf of Flint Township for the May election, that cost us $30,245.57. And then that number, along with the number from the other jurisdictions, is going to be presented to the county commissioners. And most of that was not accounted for or budgeted for. So there will possibly need to be a budget amendment done for the elections budget sometime in the future. But because the decision was made to not place the 911 question onto the November ballot, where it would have been free and clear, it did end up costing the township itself $30,245.47. And that's all I have for my report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Treasurer, do you have a report this evening?
No,
We'll move on to trustee reports. Are there any trustees who want to report this evening?
Not tonight.
Trustee Klee?
Yes, if I may, I just want to follow up on the young lady that question. I have an answer for you right away. What she was referring to is the Miller Road corridor, but it's reflective specifically in the city of Flint, if I'm not mistaken, on what I read earlier this past weekend. The meeting is actually taking place tonight at 6 o'clock, a Zoom meeting with them, and it's from Ballinger Highway to Hammerburg in the city of Flint. They want to take it from Ballinger to Hammerburg, and they want to turn it to very similar to what they did in our community on Vance Lake Road, make one lane each direction with a center turn lane. So to answer her question, it will not
I see.
impact us
Flint Township.
in the township. It's the city of Flint from Ballinger over to Hammerburg. So that can answer that and address that question for her.
So they want to do a road diet.
They want to do a road diet. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And they
Thank you,
have a
trustee.
meet. Yep, no problem. And then we have a
Um,
ZBA meeting this week also, and I'll follow up with that next week.
Great, great. Anyone else? Trustee Campbell, trustee Fapdahl? No? Alrighty, we'll move on to staff reports. Chief Salter, do you have a report for us this evening?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Since our last board meeting on the 17th of May, of course, we've been getting busier. It seems like the police department's responded to over 2,000 calls for service, which is 108 per day average, which is up by about 10 to 15 compared to last time I briefed it. During that same time, they conducted 180 traffic stops, 140 business checks, and 64 residence checks. On May 30th, the police department and fire department teamed up with the Genesee County Sheriff's Office for a Walk With Us event. It was the anniversary of last year's first protest that we had in Flint Township. We worked hand in hand with the Sheriff's Department and different volunteers. We helped clean up the entrance and exit ramps at 75 in Corona and 75 Miller. So we spent the 30th. It was a good day, good volunteer, or good day for it. Also, there's a fatal crash on Corona Road last night. Again, both the fire department and police department responded to that. An S10 pickup crossed the center lane and crashed into a 3/4 ton pickup. And that crash is still under investigation. We are currently conducting background investigations on 2 candidates. Hopefully, if everything works out right, I will be bringing them both to the board by mid to the second board meeting next month. Now I'll move on to the fire department. We have responded to over 56 calls in the last 3 weeks. 3 different types of vehicle extrications. Also, they've been doing more inspections now. We've done 27 inspections in the last 3 weeks. And a lot of these have been inspections on businesses that haven't been inspected in many, many years. So we're just trying to get around to getting all the business to start that process so we have something going for it. You're going to start seeing signs throughout the township for hiring on-call firefighters. So if you see that, if you know somebody that's interested, please have them call our fire department. And that concludes my report. I do not have any items for the agenda tonight.
So is there an age requirement on being an on-call firefighter?
I'm going to switch that over to my assistant chief, Mark Rowley.
18 years old, you can apply, and they'll go through the application process, background check, and physical agility. And if they pass all that, we will sponsor them to go to the Genesee County Fire Academy in the fall.
They have to be a resident of the township, Mark?
It's been done differently throughout the past. We've taken applicants within a mile outside of the township just to try and boost our numbers and get more people interested in the job.
All righty. Thank you for that information. Let's see. Mrs. Tucker, do you have a report for us this evening?
Well, I couldn't get it off mute. I don't have a lot, just wanted to mention one thing. Our Discover Flint Township radio show podcast is now actually a podcast. We are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and several other venues for that. We're stationing it on Anchor. So if anybody wants to listen to it just as a podcast, you can listen to it on there. We're also still on YouTube, and I'm scheduling doing some video shoots at some of the businesses that we've spotlighted. So we'll have some more of their videos up in the next couple of weeks. McAllister's Deli is nearing completion. Everybody can see their sign out there, so that's great. Serve Pro looks really good too. Northgate is in. Printcom has put up their sign, so you can see their sign as well. We do have, as Trustee Klee mentioned, a ZBA meeting Wednesday night, and the Thursday night Planning Commission is being rescheduled for later in the month due to an activity or due to not receiving some paperwork. So we're gonna have the regular meeting later in the month. It looks like probably the 24th, but I will update the website and everybody can find it there. And then I have a multitude of items on the agenda.
Yeah, you do. Alrighty. Do we have any committee reports? Anything from committees? I know ZBA is coming next week, planning commission's later. John, did you have anything from road advisory?
No, I really don't have anything from road
Okay.
advisory, but I did read the same thing that Trustee Clee read about Miller Road. And I back him up on that. What I read was Ballinger Highway down to Hamburg, and they were gonna take it from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, as the caller has stated, so.
Great.
It's the only thing I know.
Okay, great. So the last thing I want to mention was I've been talking with a couple of trustees. We have the township board back, I think in 2006, formed a committee, and they were working on the Veterans Memorial. And I know Tracy's very familiar with this. I think there's $18,000 in the account for the Veterans Memorial, and it hasn't moved much in all those years. And I'd like to work with the DDA and see what we can do, whether we can get a new committee together and go from there. But we need to see some movement. It's been a long time since anything's happened with that. And I think it's high time that we get that off the ground. So I just wanted to let the board know that whoever's interested, I'll get with Tracy and we'll move forward, and hopefully, whether it's a committee of the board or through the DDA, we can see some work on that. That's all I wanted to say there. We'll move on to number 8, Madam Treasurer, payment of bills.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we pay bills in the amount of $6,238.04. And also acknowledge that payments went out in the amounts of $1,351,122.25 on May 12th, $40,486.97 on May 19th, and $34,036.87 on May 26th, as authorized by the board's policy. So that would be a grand total of $1,431,884.13.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. So there's a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $6,238.04. Is there a second to the motion?
Campbell seconds.
Any further discussion or questions for Madam Treasurer? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mrs. Safdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. Number 9, Madam Clerk, I didn't see any correspondence or informational items. Do we have any?
No, we do not.
Thank you. We'll move on to new business. Action item A, Mrs. Tucker.
So we started, whoops, hold on, sorry. We started on looking at roads that needed to be taken care of many years ago. It's been a long process. I think you started on this, Karen, in like 2015, 2016, trying to look at how we would fund these road projects. And Lincor Taft TA Mansour has some major issues that need to be taken care of. So we looked at how we could pay for it. The DDA has taken on the township's part of that. Genesee County Road Commission is putting in funds, and then the remainder of the funds will be done through Special Assessment District. We started out with these projects. The first public hearing was May 4th, I believe, of last year. And then just 2 weeks ago, we had the bids were finally opened from the Road Commission, sending out bids for the costs. We have updated some of the costing from May of last year to this year, where the project itself ends at Taft and TA Mansour and goes west on Taft, where we had a couple parcels that were east of Taft that were in the original costing. They have been removed. And so that changed what those two parcel owners would be paying, obviously. And they were actually one parcel or two parcels were actually removed altogether. This is the public hearing for the assessment. And then you should also have a, well, I thought I put these in as two different things, but I think they've combined them into one. Then there is a resolution that you will need to look at and consider approving after the public hearing is held.
So we will open up the,
Paper is on as well from Craft Engineering if you have any questions about the project itself.
Mike, did you want to say something now, or do you want to say something after the public hearing if we hear any questions or objections?
Well, I think what's appropriate is just for me to give a quick little overview of the projects, just so that reiterate that for the public's information. And then
Mike, that'd be great. Can you pull your camera down because we can't see your mouth?
Okay. Oh boy.
There, that's better. That's better.
There you go.
Here, I'll set up here. How's that?
Perfect.
There we go. All right. All I had to do is move my screen. So is that okay that I give a quick overview?
Sure.
Yes. Picking up where Tracy left off, this is group 2 of the Flint Township Commercial Road Rehabilitation Projects. Group 1 last year was bid and it's pretty well built. That was Linden Creek Parkway, Marketplace Drive, Exchange and Commerce Road. So on the south side of the township there. Group 2 was Tia Mansour Boulevard from Corona Road south to Taft, and then Taft Road from Linden Road easterly all the way to Tia Mansour Boulevard. And then also Lincor Parkway from Corona Road south to where it ends. And then also including Group 2 is Nereida Street over where Miller and Lennon intersect. It extends northerly from Lennon Road to a dead end. We only did the part that was commercial, which is about the first 550 feet north of Lennon Road. So what we did is looked at fixes. It would be for a minimum of 20-year design fixes. So these are not just Band-Aids or anything like that. We're actually significantly rehabilitating the road. So in the case of each road, just quickly, on Mansour Boulevard, we're actually taking off the top 7 inches of material and put down 7 inches of new asphalt that will go over top of approximately 11 inches of limestone. Taft Road, there's 2 different sections there. One section, we're doing the same thing, 7 inches of new asphalt over approximately 11 inches of limestone. East of Lincor Parkway, it's full depth asphalt. So there we're milling the top 4 inches off, doing some repairs in the asphalt base and resurfacing the existing repaired base with 4 inches of new asphalt. Then Lincor Parkway was originally 5 inches of asphalt over 13 inches of stone. So again, we're going to take the top 5 inches off of that road and put 5 inches of new asphalt back. And then on Nereida, it was 4 to 5 inches of asphalt over approximately 9 to 10 inches of stone. There, we're going to take off again the top 7 inches and put 7 inches of new material down. They're all commercial roads, so they're all designed for commercial roads. As I said, that all designed for a minimum 20-year design life. The prices actually came in pretty darn good. They're all under the engineer's estimate, the final estimates. As a matter of fact, I think they were relatively close to the original preliminary estimates that were done over a year ago. But Taft Road, the actual bid price was $286,600 in round figures, and the estimate was $308,000. So that was about $22,000 under the engineer's estimate. Lincor Parkway, it was $319,500 was the bid price. The engineer's estimate was about $346,000. So that was actually about $27,000 under the engineer's estimate. Tia Mansour Boulevard, the actual bid price is $494,171, and the engineer's estimate was $507,835. So that was about 13,000 under the engineer's estimate. And the radio is very close. The engineer's estimate was 121,995, and the actual bid price is 120,907. So I think the prices were excellent prices, and there's a good contractor that is the lowest qualified bidder. And what we do from here is that, you know, if we get approval, there's going to be a pre-construction meeting this Thursday, and then the projects would start approximately 2 to 3 weeks after that with construction. So if everything is approved tonight, look for construction to start probably right after the 4th of July weekend. And then the contract completion date to finish all construction, all 4 of those roads, is September 24th of this year. So that's just a pretty brief overview of the projects. Are there any questions from anyone? I'd be happy to answer. Thank you.
I don't see anyone asking a question, so we'll start with the public hearing. I have 6:26 p.m. for the public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on the special assessment district for Lincor, Taft, TA Mansour, special assessment district number 107. Now's the time to talk. I think, Madam Clerk, you had received feedback from one of the parcel owners on Taft, did you not?
Yes, I did, and I can read it now if you would.
Yeah, that'd be
like
great.
me to do that.
That'd
Okay.
be good. I don't see anyone else who's wanting to speak during this public hearing right now, so go ahead.
Okay, dear Clerk Funk, I represent the Marie Mansour Limited Partnership and AP Mansour Trust, which own property on Lincor and Taft. I appeared via Zoom at a public hearing about a year ago to object to a similar special assessment district, and my position has not changed. Due to a conflict with a funeral today, I will not be able to appear live, so I am sending this email. To reiterate the reasons for my objections, while I have an interest in maintaining the roads surrounding the trust properties, most of the road surface on Lincor and Taft has an apparent pacer rating of 2, which is much better than many other roads in the township. Repair is not needed or priority at this time. TA Mansour is a different story with obvious subterranean drainage issues contributing to road surface deterioration. This stretch would have a 4 to 5 pacer rating, as I understand the criteria. As you are aware, Marie Mansour LP and AP Mansour properties are being marketed, but are not income producing, so cost control is extremely important. Current maintenance costs include mowing the perimeter, gutter clearing, and trash removal. You may be interested to know that each year I remove 30 plus trash bags of litter along Lincor, Taft, and Dutcher discarded by those using the roads. This year, the winter litter included a dumped mattress. Obviously, the condition of the roads does not discourage travel and the accompanying litter. I recognize that maintenance and expense is the duty of a good neighbor and property owner. Adding additional costs to replace roads that are not in need only add to this burden without a benefit. I would be happy to work with Flint Township on a scaled down assessment district, but object to the special assessment district number 107 as outlined. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to provide this comment / objection. Very truly yours, Alfred Mansour.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak during the public hearing for Special Assessment District 107, Lincor, Taft, and TA Mansour?
I have a
hear any-
comment, but do you want me to make it after you close the public hearing?
You don't want, it's not part of the public hearing, Tracy?
Either way, it's a response to his letter.
Same with me. I'd like to respond to that too. Mike Piper.
Okay, so I'll let you respond, but we're going to close the public hearing at 6:20. What's that? Oh, it's 6:29. And then we'll call upon you, Tracy, if you want to respond, and then you, Mike Piper.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure if Mr. Mansour was aware of the change on the parcels. We did have a couple parcels that were removed from the original assessment district. One of those was Mr. Mansour's. And so his assessment went from, was lowered by about $72,000. So I don't know if he's aware of that, but I will respond to his email though and let him know.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mike, did you want to?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify what Mr. Mansur mentioned. I don't think he's interpreting the PASER readings correct. 2 is about the worst you can get. PASER ratings are rated generally from 2, which is the worst, up to 10. All those roads are rated, I think, between 2, 3. There might be one at 4. I don't have that information right in front of me, but that's the reason we decided to rehabilitate these roads. They are in bad condition. And because of that, they're only going to deteriorate worse every year because the pavements are cracked and there's potholes and they're falling apart right now. And that's only going to get worse because of all those conditions. The water will get in during the spring and the fall. It will freeze and it'll expand those cracks and even make it worse. So the roads are in a state of disrepair and they do need to be repaired. They were all built about roughly 25 years ago at least. Typically the life of a project is about 20 years maximum, and even less many times on newly built roads on virgin ground, which all those roads were except for Nereida. So the roads do need repair based on the PASER ratings.
Thank you. So at this point, we've had the public hearing. Now's the time. If the board wants to do this project, a motion is in order to approve the resolution.
Please so moves to accept the resolution submitted by Tracy Tucker to handle the Special Assessment District Lincourt Taft TA Mansour number 107.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Anderson supports.
Thank you. Do we have any further discussion or any further questions before we vote on this?
As always, Tracy, Michael, appreciate the in-depth work you guys do and then getting this all to us so that we have plenty of time to look it over. Thank you.
It's been a lot of work because as Tracy mentioned, I think that I approached Mike Pfeiffer in 2014. We're out there in 15. I know we tried to do these roads with a different type of special assessment and trying to get people together. And here it is, 6 years at least since we started. I'm really pleased. This is very, very good. Anyhow, and that was a lot of work on both of your parts. So thank you. Man, if there's no other discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the motion to approve the resolution.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell, Ms. Campbell,
Got to unmute, yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Safdal,
Errol, can you unmute?
Mrs. Safdal,
Carol, you're muted.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Is that everybody,
motion
Kathy?
carries.
Thank you.
Yes,
So we'll go to
motion carries.
action item B. Mrs. Tucker, did you want to start?
Yes, this is for a portion of Nereida. Same background. So this was all part of our Roads to Recovery project that we've been working on for a lot of years. And I did want to mention, because I didn't bring it up in the last one, that we are still trying to get funds from the state for these roads. It has been requested in the budget. If those dollars come through, obviously those will be applied and the cost to the DDA and the homeowners will go down, or business owners will go down. in conjunction with whatever that amount is that we get. But I did want to make you aware that we are still trying to get other funds, but in order to get these projects done, we need to move forward. And this is the same way after the public hearing. There is a resolution for you to set the 12-year payback period. And so you just have to hold the public hearing and then vote on resolution.
Thank you. Mike, did you want to explain about the special assessment district for Naridia?
Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I kind of included Naridia in the first one. I forgot that we're doing Taft, Mansour, and Lincor together, even though they're 3 separate roads, kind of treating it as one project, one assessment, because so many of the property owners have frontage on both roads. So Naridia, even though it was part of that group 2, yes, it was bid separately. And again, this again, it's Naridia starts at Lennon Road and proceeds north, I think about 1,500 feet or so. The first 500 feet is commercial. The rest of it is residential. So this project's only dealing with the first 500 feet north of Lennon Road. And it's an existing asphalt road with curb and gutters. And it is in a state of disrepair. And there's been nothing done on the road again for about 25 years. So it is time. So the existing pavement, I think it's 45 inches of asphalt with 9 to 10 inches of stone approximately. And again, we're going to take the top 7 inches off. If there's any problems with the base, we'll repair it. And then we're going to put 7 inches of new asphalt over it. Also, we'll repair any deteriorated curb and gutter on the road itself, mostly at driveways. You might notice that at driveway crossings, the curb and gutter will deteriorate much faster than outside of them because of all the traffic going across them. So any curb and gutter that's busted up will also be repaired. And then also we'll repair the catch basins. And that, by the way, will also happen on all the roads. It's not just the paving. There's curb and gutter repair and catch basin repair. And as I said earlier on that project, I think I estimated it right around 121,000, and the bids came in at about 100 and just slightly on there, about 120,900, I believe. And I think our estimates last year, about a year ago, were actually about much more than that. I think there were, oh boy, 138,000, I believe. And then so they're way under the price. So again, the prices are excellent, and I would recommend that that these projects be done because they're in need. And again, the PASER rating is very low. I think it's 3 or 4 in Naridia. So that would indicate that the roads are in need of repair.
Thank you, Mike.
Any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll open up the public hearing at 6:38 p.m. And if anyone would like to address the board and speak during the public hearing, now's the time. Did you receive any correspondence, Tracy, in regards to this particular special assessment district?
I did not, and I haven't seen anything from the clerk. Did you get anything, Kathy?
No, I did not.
Alrighty. One last time, is there anyone who would like to speak during this public hearing for the special assessment district on Naridia? It's number 110. And I don't see anyone who wants to speak. Now it's 6:39 p.m. So we'll close the public hearing since nobody wants to speak. And a motion would be in order to approve the resolution on the special assessment district, Naridia 110.
Anderson moves that we.
Go ahead.
Anderson moves that we accept or move forward with the special assessment district for Naridia number 110.
Thank you. Second to the motion? Is that you?
Support.
Carol Pfeffdahl. Any questions on this? Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please on this approving the resolution for the special assessment district Naridia for district number 110.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Pfeffdahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Great. Thank you very much. I wanted to thank you, Mike. I know we're going to set the public hearing for the next two projects, but I just wanted to say something in regards to the projects that we've already done. As you mentioned, we finished Linden Creek Parkway. We finished Commerce, Exchange, Marketplace, and we'll be working on the time frame, Mike, on Linden Court, Taft, Mansour, and Neridia. Do you know when the construction will start?
Yes, the pre-construction meeting at the road commission is already scheduled for this Thursday. I think Karen and Tracy, you both got an invitation to that. That's basically the meeting where we meet with a contractor and discuss the project to prepare for the start of construction. So typically they'll start within a couple or 3 weeks after that. So I anticipate it should be very close to the Labor Day, the Independence Day holiday. So probably, right after that, the Tuesday after that weekend, I would anticipate. The project must be completed by no later than September 24th. That is the completion date, but I don't anticipate they will take that long, but we did reserve a little bit more time just to make sure we didn't cut the project schedule too tight, which would discourage potential bidders and things of that nature. So I expect it to be done prior to that date though, but they technically have until that time.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll move on to action item C, is to set the public hearing for special assessment district on Holiday Drive. It's number 109. A motion would be in order to set the public hearing for June 21st.
Lee would move to set the public hearing for the special assessment district, Holiday Drive, number 109, and for the related costs and discussion.
For the date, June 21st?
June
right?
21, yes, 6/7/20, yes. 6.
It's in the
21.
resolution.
It's in
21,
the
great.
resolution.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So is there a second to the motion?
Campbell second it.
All righty. Madam Clerk, is there any further discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call please on setting the public hearing for Special Assessment District 109 on Holiday Drive for June
Mrs. Funk?
21st. Sorry, thank you.
Sorry. Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Action item D is to set the public hearing for the Special Assessment District number 108 on Austin Parkway for June 21st. Can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move forward and set a public hearing for the Special Assessment District of Austin Parkway, number 108, for the meeting of June the 21st.
Is there a second to the motion, please?
Campbell second.
Thank you. Any questions on or discussion on this motion? Madam Clerk, roll call please on setting the public hearing for June 21st for the Special Assessment District 108 Austin Parkway.
Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes,
Mrs. Funk, yes, motion carries.
thank you. Action item E is to approve the resolution for a loan from Sewer and Water to pay for Exchange and Commerce. The bills came in, and when we went to look at the minutes to find out, we approved the project. As Tracy said, we are hoping to receive some money, but we haven't as of yet. And we need to pay the bill, and we're looking to borrow it from the Sewer and Water Department. And after our discussion with Plant Moran, our pre-audit meeting, yeah, I asked them then, they said that we might look at charging it to the DDA or running the accounting through the DDA, or it might go back on the municipal street funds. So everything is set to the information that you have is accurate, except I'm not sure if it'll be borrowed from Sewer and Water, but as we go to pay off over the next 12 years, if it will be accounted for in the DDA budget or in the municipal street fund budget. We're setting up a meeting with Mrs. Tucker and I and our new controller, Kevin McIntyre, to finalize that. So a motion is in order to approve the loan from the sewer and water to pay for the Exchange and Commerce Drives projects.
Funk moves that we approve the sewer and water loan for the Exchange and Commerce Drive project in the amount of $608,606.86. And that will either be to the municipal street fund or Exchange and Commerce, depending upon recommendation by our auditing firm, Plant Moran.
Yeah, either sewer water, I'm sorry, municipal street fund or DDA. Is there a second to the motion?
We would second that and support it.
Thank you. Are there any questions at this point? Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call please on the loan from sewer and water to pay for Exchange and Commerce Drives in the amount of $608,606. And actually, that might include the amount that's being paid for by the DDA. I think the total amount we're borrowing is $499,928. Can you give clarification, Tracy?
Yes, that the total amount borrowed is $499,928. The $608,606 is what will come back to the sewer and water fund. That includes the interest payments. So that will be the final amount going to the sewer and water fund.
Okay, and that's here in the information. So any further questions or discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call please on the loan from sewer and water to pay for Exchange and Commerce Drive, please.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Bapdahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
motion carries.
And then we have another resolution for a loan from sewer and water to pay for Marketplace Drive. And a motion is in order to move forward.
Anderson moves to approve the loan from sewer and water to DDA for Marketplace Drive as outlined.
Or it may go through the municipal street funds. We're just gonna verify with the auditors. Is there a second to the motion?
Clee would
Bapdahl
support that.
supports.
I heard two at the same time.
Carol, go ahead.
Bapdahl supports.
So Lisa and Carol, any questions on the loan from sewer and water to pay for Marketplace? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please on the loan from sewer and water to pay the for the Marketplace Drive project.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Bapdahl,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. So now we move on to action item G, is a recommendation from our previous controller that now that the governor's mandate postponing any water shutoffs is over, we had raised, if you'll recall back in the fall, we raised the deposit for the landlord affidavits to $1,000, and that was pretty high. And she's recommending, as you have in your board packet, she's recommending that we lower it to, she's recommending, she did recommend that we lower the deposit for a landlord affidavit for a single occupant to $350 for a double occupant, 2 people on the lease to $500 deposit and $800 for 3 or more occupants on the lease for a landlord affidavit. A motion would be in order to approve this change.
Campbell moves that we approve single occupant at 350, double occupant at 500, 3 or more occupants at 800 for the deposits.
Great. Is there a second to the motion?
We would
Anderson
support.
supports.
I heard something from trustee Clee. So are there any questions on this? No? Madam Clerk?
I have a
roll
quick
call.
question.
Sure.
I have a quick question. So you're saying that it's the occupants that are listed on the lease itself. It's not, say, a mom and a dad, and then they have a child, correct?
Well, when they fill out the landlord affidavit, they have to list, they bring in a copy of the lease and they have to list who's living in the house. And the landlord affidavit also says it's their responsibility if there's any changes. So if someone, a couple's living in the house and they have triplets, it's up to them to come and tell us there's more people in the house. But we get a copy of the lease and they have to fill out our affidavit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Madam Clerk, roll call please on changing the amount of the deposits for the landlord affidavits, please.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk. Yes, sorry, I was distracted. Somebody's helping me do the roll call here. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Vert,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. So I will say that I reviewed the list of landlord affidavits that we have, and I think there's only 2 people right now that have less than the $500 deposit. So if they're single, they're fine because they're at 300 or 350. And if not, then they'll have to go up to the, double occupancy. And last time when I was asked about the landlord affidavits, we had 1 commercial landlord affidavit. We now have 2. So that's all we have there. And I think we have I have to verify. I think there was 113 landlord affidavits for residential. So we move on to action item H is to amend the sign ordinance. You have the information in front of you. And we had the first reading at our last meeting. This will be the second reading, and then we'll be voting on approving this or not after this reading. Does anyone have any questions on the changes? No? All right. So a motion would be in order to approve those changes. And that would allow the applicant to have an appeal through the planning commission for a special land use permit. Because as it was, there was no possible way to appeal our ordinance, ask for any type of exception to that. So this will allow it. A motion would be in order to approve the change.
Clee would move. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. Clee would move to push the sign ordinance for the, based on our readings, and I'm trying to get the number to pop up. Hold on. Sorry. Slow connection right now. There we go. All right. Clee moves to amend and support the our Flint Township Code Ordinance number 6021-08 in regards to allowing adjustment to the reader boards that could be asked for by a specific land use by the petitioner.
Is there a second to the motion approving the amendment to the sign ordinance? Anyone?
Fafdal will support.
Thanks, Carol. Any other questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the resolution to approve the amendment to the sign ordinance?
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes, Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
No.
Mrs. Faftall,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to action item I, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Tucker to give us a lead in.
This is just the first reading for a rezoning case. The public hearing was held at the Planning Commission last month. It was voted on unanimously to approve. This is on the northwest corner of Flushing and Linden Roads, just north of the bridge. It is a house. The structure was a house for many years. They used it as an office, and they're asking to return it to the zoning of a house. One of the reasons that the Planning Commission chose to approve this unanimously is that all of the property surrounding this building is zoned R1B. So it is fitting that it go back to R1B. And so this is just the first reading, and final approval will be at a future date. Most likely the next meeting.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we take no action on that. And action item J, we have our first reading of a cost recovery ordinance. Is Chief Salter still on the phone? I know, I see he's his video's out. So you have,
Yes, ma'am.
did you want to say anything on this amendment to the cost recovery ordinance, Chief Salter?
As you see in the ordinance before you, which we talked to our township attorney about it, there's many different parts about it where a lot of times we spend police and accidents of residents that don't live in our jurisdiction. So a lot of our manpower is there instead of patrolling our streets of our township. And that's one of the things this tries to correct a little bit to help us recoup some of the costs for that. And I got some more work to do with the cost recovery part of it, but this is the first step of that process.
So this doesn't apply to any tax paying resident of the township. It's for police and fire response for service to non-taxpayers who need your services, correct?
Correct, who are at fault in accidents, who are the at fault driver.
Okay. So there's no action needed tonight. This will come back also on June 21st at our next meeting. And thank you for that, Chief Salter. That takes us to number 11. Are there any announcements, Madam Clerk?
Just that our next board meeting will be on June 21st at 6 p.m. And also that we will have quite a few publications in the newspaper coming up, and those will be done, just so everyone knows.
Thank you. So before we say goodbye, I know that the request to return in person for our board meetings has been made. And I know that the governor's coming out with some new mandates as of July 1st and in returning to normal. And we're also looking to our county board of commissioners for some guidance there too. Because we passed a resolution with a policy that stated that through the year that we might continue doing this, but part of the reason we are doing it electronic meetings still is because the counties still has an active declaration of emergency, which if the governor changes their mandate and things return to normal in July, I imagine that the county might say something. Are you with us, Commissioner Clemens?
Yep, I'm here.
Do you have any update on this issue?
That is correct. So we're working with the state, and we are actively assessing where we're at with our vaccination level and having conversations on when we would like to lift the order. We haven't set a set date yet, but we are having those conversations. But we'll make sure to let you know beforehand, so you'll have time to prepare accordingly.
Thank you very much. So I can say that for our next meeting, the June 21st meeting, that's most likely going to be another Zoom meeting, but as the governor changes their mandate and as we look to guidance, like I said, from the county, and we'll hear from we'll hear from you, Dominic, when that happens. Maybe we'll be back in person in July. Also, I don't know if this is possible, but maybe I've seen several meetings that I've attended, like the last sewer and water advisory meeting that I went to, they did a hybrid. They had people there in person and they also did electronic meeting for those who couldn't attend in person. So more information to come, but I can say that most likely our next meeting will still be electronic. And then in July, we'll look for some changes. So I have nothing else. And if there's no further business and without oh yes, Trustee Dahl.
I just want to ask a question, maybe if Chief Salter or Mark might be able to answer it. Does Flint Township have a burning ban on yard debris?
So the burn permit process, it really, it's spelled out in our burn permit process. You're allowed to burn twigs, sticks, nothing over 3 inches in diameter. There's a set size limit to the fire pit. And then it goes on weather conditions and things like that. So, but there's not supposed to be any leaves, grass clippings, anything, any building materials, because that puts off a lot more smoke. And that's usually what we tend to get called on.
I know my neighbor was burning yesterday and it was very close to the house. And that's why I was kind of asking, was that permitted right now with it being kind of dry?
Yes, ma'am. We haven't heard anything come out from the DNR about putting out a burn ban, and that's kind of what we look for, is when a DNR puts out a burn ban, that's when we'll usually kick it into effect, unless it's significantly dry here and it warrants it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So in summary on the burn permits, if someone's going to burn something in their backyard, you request that they make the phone call to the fire department and give you guys a heads up, right? And
Yes, ma'am.
There's no permit issued. It's just a matter of communication between the resident and the fire department, correct?
Correct. So when they call the day of the fire, and if the wind speeds are low enough, then we'll just take down their information, address, phone number. That way, if we do get any complaints, we can contact them via phone before we have to send an engine out. I know it's not a perfect system. We have some trouble areas, some trouble residents that we deal with frequently. So it's something we are working to improve on moving forward.
Okay, thank you for that information. And if there's no other business, and again, without any objection, we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.